My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to SpellRogue. We're continuing as Hazel, who is still yet to win the game using Earth B or Earth C. Well, let's start with Earth B and see what we can get done here. I'm happy to cycle around them after I've completed them all, but I haven't even been able to win with this one yet. Alright. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay. Hush. For 6 points. 4th spell cast each turn, receives 2 mute. Not doing it. Vitality. Heal the most damaged enemy for 10 health each round. This is actually way harder than 6 points. It is absurdly difficult. Yeah, not doing that either. Which means I'm definitely going to have to take the 9 modifier, which is the same as last run, Tempest. At the end of each turn, receive 4 damage. Hazel's very capable of defending though, so I'm not so worried about that. Then also Obstacle. All enemies gain 12 block. Easy. There's also Inhibition. Can only cast 7 spells a turn. Major Vex. Every 3rd dice rolled receives Vex. Do I want Vex? No, I'm going to be wanting high die in this one. Okay. Enemies debuffing spells hit for an additional spell. That could be actually pretty potent. On turn 2, receive 2 curse, which is the same turn that all the enemies gain the block. And on enemy death, receive 4 weak. Yeah, I'm unlikely to want to kill that many enemies in the same turn. I'm going to take Condemnation as well. On turn 2, receive 2 curse. Just going to make all of my die low on turn 2. On the turn the enemies are all blocking. I'm not happy about that. And then Jinx. Enemies debuffing spells hit an additional spell. Hopefully I find something early that's very big and very defensive. Stoneheart Amulet. We've seen this many times before. Start a combat, gain 2 blessing on the first turn. Granite Orb. On turn 1, apply 2 dazed to all enemies. So that's for the first 2 turns. They deal 33% less attack damage. And Stoneforge Greaves. On turn 1, gain a power. I'm going to take the Granite Orb. I haven't taken it before, and it certainly seems like it'd be useful here. I'd love to have a shop and an event relatively late on this floor. I would love to have 2 elites as well, but I'll take what I can get. Hello, Lesser Shamblers. If I simply murder the frontliner, I can use Beast Within to possibly roll a 6. And then get ready for the boulder toss for the... Oh no! I forgot about the Tempest damage. Oops. And the enemy is now overblocked this turn, so I'm not going to be able to defend otherwise. Whoops. That's tough. 6 damage here in the first fight that I didn't really need to take. Shade Power Vial, roll 3 die, gain 3, lose 3 health as well. Gaia's Wrath. On a 6, deal 6 damage and gain a power. It can have more damage or it can gain more power. There's also Infused Scales. Gain X block on a 3 to a 6 2 times a turn, and then return the dice with a lower value. I'm going to take Infused Scales, literally just so I have some block that I'm comfortable with. Because especially here, like if I get a 5 or a 6, I can put it into Infused Scales, I can get a lot of defense, and then I can launder that back through Beast Within to get a high result. Seems worthwhile. I'll still be looking for better defense than I have, though. Okay. I'm going to infuse scales, actually. Because then I have a 4, a 2, and a 1. Which is enough to throw a single boulder toss at an enemy. one's attacking this turn, so I just need to defend against the Tempest, which I can do with a single infused scales. Use that to pre-bake part of Beast Within, as well as Boulder Toss for the turn after. When enemies are buried, they're not taking half damage, they're taking 2 less damage, which means that Boulder Toss is still going to be enough to take out the frontliner. Okay, no incoming damage by the end of this turn. That's great. I should be ready to Boulder Toss. Oh, that'll do it. 1 is the first Boulder Toss, and then a 6 and a 3 will be enough for the second. Last pot for 15 damage. Very happy to see it. So the ability to apply mark to targets, and then also the ability to do damage to a marked target, and if they are marked, gain extra value. That's cool. It legitimately is really, really nice. However, I need to be able to apply marked before I try and utilize it. Stalk, apply 2 marked and 3 weak to all enemies. That seems like a really good way to try and defend myself. As well as set up for the possibility of trying to utilize the marked something. I honestly think that Infused Scales is probably going to the left of Beast Within here. Reason being because I typically cast that, and then it gives me the results to cast Beast Within, and then I decide whether or not I'm going to Stalk and prepare for Boulder Tossing or Rampart for more defense. After this fight, we'll be able to decide what our first upgrade is going to be. $50% extra damage means that Boulder Toss would be 12, which is still not enough to take out the Living Embers by itself. That said, I will still mark all enemies. And I will still Boulder Toss against the frontliner. They'll still be marked this turn, which means another Boulder Toss. No, never mind, not another Boulder Toss against them. Another 2 Boulder Tosses against them would be enough to take them out, but that's not going to happen. I have enough defense now not to worry so much. Rebake some of the Stalk and Boulder Toss for a later turn. I'm going to throw out Stalk. Infuse Scales gives me block as well as a 4 that I can use in Boulder Toss to take out the enemy front line. I could prevent 4 damage here if I wanted to with the Blast Pot. No, that's going to be much more important in an upcoming Elite fight. Actually, it prevents 8 damage. Well then. Die. Some gold and a new combat reward. Hello, Impure Magic. Impure Ritual, I love you so much. I obviously can't use you here, though. But, oh, you're so good. Men Magic. Add 1 charge to a target spell, either using a 5 or an odd, and if it's using 5s, you can upgrade it to have the ability to do it twice. Not super interested. And then Solidify, gain some barrier. Gain 2 barrier. Block at the end of every single turn. I'm almost leaning towards the reroll here, but I really don't want to, so I'm going to try and find a way to convince myself not to. Solidify is probably better defense than Rampart for us right now. I honestly don't think I want to go to a Sanctuary at the moment. I think I want to go Battle and then Elite and then Shop. That's an additional spell that I could possibly sell. Infuse Scales could give X plus 1 block and then return the dice with only 1 lower value. Which is nice. I do want as high value die as I possibly can have. Three weak to all enemies does seem pretty relevant as well on Stalk. I'm going to take the extra defense from Infused Scales. I'll get rid of Infused Scales at the end of this floor if I need to. Golem! You negate the next status effect applied. Hi. Do actually apply status effects, of course. Stalk. Forgot about that. Yeah, fair enough. That will be relevant. Huh? What happened? Ah, Granite Orb. 2 days to all enemies got negated. Well, that's fine then. I can stalk you, and then I can also toss a boulder at you for 12 damage. Again, I did forget. I have 4 damage coming my way at the end of each turn. Oh no, breaking 2 of my spells at the same time is really rough. I do not want you to do that to me, please. Well, at least I blocked this turn. Enemy gains a power. Oh, they're looking to break even more spells. I keep forgetting to... That's... Anyway. Let's infuse scales. Twice, and then throw that 3 into Beast Within. I'll break open Solidify. And Boulder Toss, and I'll put a 5 in Boulder Toss. Yep, taking another 4 damage this turn, but I'll be able to take the enemy that the turn after. My defense is not great. I don't need to be embarrassed about the fact that this is not doing as well as I want it to right now. That's okay. That's what the first floor is for. Morphosis. Deplete another spell. Gain a power for each charge removed. I would love that. Gives me a large amount of ease taking a deplete spell from here on out. Of course, still don't have one yet, but when I do, oh, I'll have one. Elite battle time. This is where the Shade Power Potion is going to have to come in clutch. I'm going to roll it right now. I want to be able to mark the enemy. As well as start boulder tossing. Mark the enemy with Stalk. And toss a boulder at you once, and then also start pre-baking boulder toss so that only a 6 is needed to activate it next time, because there's always 2 die to activate boulder toss at this point. At least. Gain all of our block, and then Beast Within again. Oof. I need to keep up the aggression, which makes me feel like I still need to preset another Stalk. Keep the enemy marked. Beast Within and Infuse Scales do work pretty well together. bunch of damage that turn, though. Gotta hit him with a boulder toss and start getting ready for the next one. I don't really have the time to worry about other things right now. I gotta be hitting you. Get ready to mark and start boulder tossing again next turn. Oh god. The extra fire is really hurting as well. Okay. Stalk, I'll defend, I'll beast within, I'll hit you with a big boulder toss, and then I literally just need to boulder toss next turn. So we are barely getting through this. I gotta boulder toss you 2 times this turn in order to take you out, but thankfully you've left exactly the spells open that I need open. Thank you kindly. And now is where we get some power. We get golds, we get the energizing potion. Target gets extra spells. Okay, Gleaming Exterior. On a 1 to a 5, gain X block, then gain a blessing as well. You gain 2X block with the upgrade. That's pretty sick. Pulverize. On a 4 to a 6, 2 times a turn, deal 4 damage to the front enemy, and then return the die with lower value. Onslaught. 2 to 6. Deal X damage. If the target is marked, return the die with 1 less to its value. You could also have 1 more to its value, which is going to be significantly better for us. I'll take Onslaught, and I'm probably going to upgrade it immediately. Rabbit's Foot, every 3rd turn, roll a die. As much as I want that, I really need the shards right now. I'm also going to go to the shop, an event, and then a sanctuary. And then the boss battle at the end of the floor. So I have time before I have to use this shard. Gleaming Mana. Return dice with Glimmer. That's really exciting. Because Infused Scales and Onslaught both return the die that they use. Which means I'll constantly be getting +1s to other things. Red Dawn on 4 roll, -2 countdown to a random spell. As much as I do want that. Oh, Giant's Pouch. Reduce shop prices by 40%. Okay. And then I have exactly enough to get Red Dawn. In fact, if I sell a spell... You know what? I'm going to sell all 4 of those. Oh my god. Then I'm going to take Gleaming Mana and Red Dawn on a 4 roll, -2 countdown to a random spell. There's also Enchanting Effigy. Each turn, add charge to a random spell. If it hits Onslaught, Infuse, or Beast Within, I'm pretty happy about it. That's wild! Event time! Iron Skin Potion's the only thing I can afford here. Heavily Acorn would have been cool too. Alright, I'll take 12 luck. And then in the Sanctuary, I'm going to heal. I really want the Onslaught to give me back higher die value, thank you. So I mark the enemies, and then I put a Glimmer die into Onslaughts and Infuses while they grow the size of other die for me. I'm really interested to see how well this works. This is like as well as this build I think could get together on a first floor on Mutation 6 as well. Okay. Within roll 6, there's Stalk available now. So I will stalk the enemies. Then I am going to return my 2 with Glimmer. Start throwing out Onslaught damage. -4 into infused scales twice, I think, at this point. No, I'll be able to defend for enough. Yeah, I don't think I need to tell you why this is valuable. Now I don't even need to mark them with the marked this turn. I've already got that. That already comes for free. Let's get Beast Within to trigger. We'll make that a Glimmering 6. And if I put this into Onslaught, it says return die with +1 value. So it'll return a 6 and a 1, I believe. Hell yeah. Which is also 9 damage each time it's happening. Let's stalk you all twice. And then I can infuse scales a couple times as well. So there's still no real damage in this build, but also look at this build. What a wild build. What fun. Single one into Beast Within, easy. That's happily going to be a 5 that goes into Gleaming Mana. Starting the Onslaught. My maximum defense per turn is still pretty bad, though. It's 13 right now. That said, it'll get us through this fight, and if I find anything else that synergizes with Marked, it fits into our build perfectly instantly. Time to go gung-ho with the Onslaught. One mil would have done it. It's a stalk across everyone, and we're back up to the maximum defense I'm capable of getting again. I will use a 6 defenses against 6, the Iron Skin potion this turn. I'm not going to use it. It will have the ability to defend us against the full 12 next floor, don't worry. Time for an Onslaught. What a wild first floor. Getting the upgrade of apply weak to all enemies on Stalk is now essential and is going to be really, really helpful. 25 health, thank you. 44 gold, that's the artifact basically. A shard, and then crooked 6s. Rolled 6s lose 1 value. No thank you. 6s are great for me. Mana Pearl. Roll an even die on even turns, or Amulet of Sacrifice, negative block from spells. I'm taking the balanced Mana Pearl here, especially because the second turn, where I am cursed, as well as I have all enemies with 12 block, is our hardest turn. And then 100% it's apply the weak to enemies with Stalk as well. Gleaming Mana giving 1 blessing is also pretty good. But not really as powerful as gaining a ability to weaken enemies. I really do want to go to every shop now. Okay, I can only go to 1 shop this floor. I can either go to 1 shop and 2 elites, or I can take the shop later after I've taken an elite and a couple other fights as well as an event. I think I should go for that one. So I'm only going to get 1 elite fight this for. But the shop should more than make up for the disparities. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna stalk you. And now that you're marked, I'm going to hit you with the onslaught. I need something that makes value out of these low die as well. Cast Beast Within. Cast Beast Within. I rolled a 4! Cast Beast Within! Oh. Dang. Definitely time to keep glimmering that mana for the onslaught. Now we can infuse scales. I'm no longer taking any damage this turn. As long as I drop Stalk on the enemy. Wait, when did Onslaught get in? Can't believe I didn't just finish onslaughting. Enemy gained barely any power from the traps that turn. Very, very happy to see that. Gleaming Mana and right back into the onslaughts. As long as I weaken you this turn, you're doing no damage. And I will. I will weaken you this turn. It'll look a lot like that. So much igniting. I'm gonna gain some block and then take the enemy out with the onslaught so that I don't have to worry about taking any damage to ignite. Some money, a split potion, and Revitalize, Instinct, and Stone Meld. Instinct uses any die to apply 1 marked. Gain 1 power. Stone Meld, double your block. You can use 3 on that. You can also gain 6 delayed block. Stone Meld would be totally appropriate to add into this build, I would think. Especially if I gave it the gain 6, because like at the end of my turn, I do have the ability to invest in a Stone Meld very easily. So the only problem here is that I don't have another shard space, because I do need Beast Within, I do need Stalk, I obviously need the other ones, so it's Stone Meld is the next substitute in. Attacks gain 20% lifesteal for 1 turn. Admittedly, I don't love it, but I hate all the rest of these. Spell Catalyst is so minimal in impact. Every second turn, do 4 damage or 4 block. Yes, that can be multiplied by multi-strikes and things like that, but that still doesn't make it anywhere near as good as the one after, which is every third turn, add +5 to the damage that is written on a spell. This doesn't keep it, the other one does. Blood Totem for the ability to Bloodlust at will. No, thank you. I'm taking Bloodbound Spear. Skin, rather, sorry. And then it's Battle, Elite Battle, Battle. I should be ready to use all of the dice if I need them in that Elite Battle. Imp Fanatics. Oh, I love to see him. Repulsion. On spell cast, this enemy gains 1 weak. What is something we do ridiculously commonly every turn? I'm not even going to give you a hint on this one. It's cast spells. All right, now, at the end of all of that, you each do 1 damage. Into Gleaming Mana. I'm getting pretty close to my next stalk. There it is. Or even more weak on everyone. And this final onslaught will take out the frontline target as well. I'm chuffed with this build. So chuffed to bits. Let's get our attacks to have extra lifesteal for the turn. And I gain 2 health every time I hit you with a full onslaught? Sure. Gain 6 health every 3rd turn? Would still probably have been my choice. And I'm not even going to bother with a Gleaming Mana. I'm just going to take you out. Bastion. It's the best defense scaling in the entire game. Like, could I use Infuse Scales instead? Sure, but if I sacrifice Infuse Scales now instead, and then break Infuse Scales, in fact, in order to gain your charge, and drop that in Bastion, it'll be infinitely better. I don't know if I do that before the next Elite Battle, though. Because in the next Elite Battle, I get the Shard that gives me the ability to put Bastion and Stone Meld both on the field at the same time. I'm using as many potions as it needs to get through this fight. Yeah, let's go. Ah. Crones. Hello. Yeah, they're probably the ones I'm the least excited to see, frankly. Glad they're weakened on this first turn. They're all healing 6, so I should definitely focus all of my damage on a single target. I'm going to split this so that I can get a Beast Within out. There's a 6, great. I'm going to roll a 5 in there as well, actually. Hoping to get a 6. 5 in there as well, actually. Hoping to get a 6. Got the 6, good. 6 goes into Gleaming Mana, another 6 goes into Stalk to set up the ability to actually use Onslaught and then infuse Scales. No incoming damage at the end of that turn. Oof. Well, at least I've still got 3s, so I can use Beast Within for the full rerolls. Great, that's Gleaming Mana and Stalk already handled. Incoming damage is now 11. Not perfectly good against an 11. Like, I'll take some damage to Tempest at the end of the turn with that. In fact, I'll take exactly 1 damage to Tempest at the end of the turn. Frontliner goes down this turn. They also have Crone Eye, so they'll be passing their Crone Eye to someone else to attack with. There's the final Onslaught for the Frontliner. Only 5 incoming damage this turn, that'll be fine. Oh, never mind, you get the Crone's Eye, so you upgrade your damage to 11, which means I am going to be taking damage now. That's okay, we've got Bloodbound Skin to heal that back up. And now the damage powerhouse is off the board, so I can kind of gradually work my way through the remainder. Wow, 20 incoming damage this turn. This is probably my Iron Skin Potion turn then. Maximum block I'm even capable of generating in a turn is 14, so yes, that's 4 damage past that, but I'm okay. Iron Skin Potion remains. Only going to take me 1 attack next turn to take out the Chronic Birth. One down, and unfortunately I gained 4 weak after that, which I should have accounted for and attacked the backliner a couple of times first. Alright. This is the end of our difficulties, I think. Some lifesteal for 1 turn, and we'll gain all our health back. One defense lacking from being able to save myself any damage that turn, but we follow up with a very easy kill. Hell yeah. Some more gold, another spell. Savagery. Deal X plus X damage 2 times. No, Hell, Monolith. Deal 18 damage. That's going to be heavily increased by some other value. An additional charge to a spell in Mend Magic ultimately eventually just becomes the ability to defend more with a Stone Meld, maybe? I'm going to take Mend Magic because I could theoretically utilize it. Lake Vessel, gain a Boxbringer. Annoyingly, that is 10 extra damage per turn, basically, for us. And, in fact, it's 15, because it's always on marked targets. I do really want more damage. The only thing is I need the shard. I need to open the additional slot. I need to put Bastion and then Stone Meld in there. And then I sell infused scales at the shop. And it gives me back the gem, the shard. And that'll give me the ability to get Bastion to gain 3 block each time it's cast this combat. After, like, turn 2, I will no longer take damage. In that kind of a build. Onslaught the front target a bunch of times, then Bastion a couple times, send out a Stone Meld so that I actually have some defense, and then get ready for the Beast Within on the next turn, and we are perfectly defended, and then Bastion is going to be helping. Well, the Bastion's not yet upgraded. It's not yet ready for carrying us. It'll still be nice, though. Roll 1 into Beast Within, gain a 6, throw that into Gleaming Mana. 4 hits Bastion, gives us defense. Throw a 1. There we go. I want more Bastion before I start onslaughting the enemies, because you have thorns, and I don't want to take damage to your thorns. If I can avoid it, thanks. Put 2 into a Beast Within, getting ready for a later turn, and then stalk the enemy. Perfect. Pre-bake a Stone Meld. I shouldn't pre-bake Stone Meld. Stone Meld doesn't want to randomly be cast by Red Dawn. Did you have to? Did you have to? Did you actually have to, though? I'm going to open Onslaught so I can start attacking the enemy. And in doing so, I will generate a bunch of 1s that I am capable of using to fix this. There we go. 1's open broken things for us easily. Going to stalk as well. And then by throwing a 6 into Bastion, I'll increase my other die to give me 3 for Beast Within, which is enough to put back into Bastion. More relics that synergize with countdowns would be lovely. I don't want Stone Meld just randomly causing itself like that, though. Bleh. Definitely time to onslaught this enemy. Keep him stalked. And the Bastion. There we go. And I'll Bloodbound Skin this turn because there's no reason not to. Thank you for taking us back to full health, and goodbye, Golem. Some gold, branding tonic, just in case I really need to brand him suddenly. Spirit arrows! Deal 1 damage to a random enemy X times. I'm gonna take it. Probably not gonna use it. I don't, that's for if I'm scaling my power, which I'm not. Hello, shop. Tempest! Cast 3 countdown spells. -3 to the leftmost countdown spell. There's also the Diadem of Power. Gain 1 power on turn 1. Love it. And then Finger of Justice. Every 10th spell attack also applies 2 dazed to all targets. I wonder what I'm gonna take. Anyway, we'll think about this for... Sell 3 of my spells? Yeah, that might help us out. Desolation. Deal X plus X damage. On 12, return the dice. Legitimately? That's like a... that... I could use that. I'm gonna take Desolation. I'm gonna use my shard to give Bastion a faster growth rate, thank you. Let's hit a special event. -10 max health, and every 3rd turn, split a random dice in 2. Or choose and gain artifact after 90. Yeah, no, I don't want to. That's not. Goodbye. Oh. Bastion even got the extra charge here on turn 1. That's absurd. 4 into Beast Within. 6 is helpful. That gives me the ability to stalk all these enemies. Frankly, the one that's gaining thorns right now is the one that's most scary to me. Because I won't be able to attack you as many times on following turns as I would like. Bastion then gives Tempest to Stonemeld, which wants to give me 15 armor right now. Now all I need is Tenacity to show up in the shop next floor. Hey, I'm not using Thorns this time. It's a totally different build. Oh, come on. Whoa! Rolling all those 6s and then them turning into 4s triggered Red Dawn 3 times and then another time. Throw the Onslaught out there against the target that has Tenacity. And Stalk. We'll Bastion around about 3 times. I don't need to Stonemeld. If I find a spell that gives us, you know, value for each block, then that will work ridiculously well for us. I've got to focus on the enemies here that I can take down before they get their thorns. Bastion another 2 times. 26 block per now. I'll cast Bastion just to get some defense so I don't have to worry about the thorns still. It's 11 damage, so I can take out the thorns this round. Perfect. Throw another 6 into Stalk. 1 into Bastion. And bring back part of the Beast Within. Now it's just about finding a way to do damage with all of this as well. Onslaught's enough for right now. But... Pulverize, Force of Nature, and Shatter. None of these have effects that are commensurate to the block that you have. Reroll, looking for that. Don't find it. Take Impure Ritual, but I'm not going to be using it. I almost want to take Desolation over Stone Meld, because Bastion is eventually all of the block I will ever need, and Desolation will actually give me the ability to do damage. Let's disenchant Impure Ritual, gain 8 max health, and then boss battle time! Single 3 into the Beast Within, and I'll use another one. I'm looking for a 6 ideally, but I will accept a 5, that's fine. A 5 and a 2 goes into Stalk. Now everyone's weakened and marked. I'm already going to be Hex next turn. How Hex do I want to be? Less Hex would be nice. Cast Bastion once. And twice. Perfect. Next time I cast a countdown spell, it will also trigger Stalk. So I'll be taking 3 damage from Tempest at the end here. That should probably be all of the damage I take in this entire fight. Get the Gleaming Mana out there. I should spread the damage on these targets also. Perfect. So glad to see that I now have 2 6s available, because Desolation has an additional charge this turn. So with it, I can do 20 damage to a target, and then it just returns those dice, so I get to do it again. Finally, we'll round up the turn with a little more barrier. Sorry, a little more Bastion. And Beast Within and a 4 in Stalk will give us only 1 required to play a Bastion. Ooh, I'm weakened this turn to the point that I'm not doing any damage. Nope, I can still sneak some damage in here. Let's pre-bake the Beast Within, and then Gain as much Bastion as I need. I just don't want to be weakened. I can let them do as much damage as they would like now. So ideally, I will be trying to get you on your brilliant side, or keep you on your brilliant side if you're already there. Time for desolation. And then if I hit you one more time, you will no longer be weakening me for the next turn. You can gain as much strength as you like. You're just not going to be faster then. Just don't know what to tell you, buddy. Gotta get back to splitting the damage as well. No hexing me, thank you. Oh, never mind. I guess you will be hexing me. I'm not gonna be able to flip you back from that. Passing Bastion 3 times in a row with the additional charge. Super useful. And we need a 1 in Beast Within in order to get a viable die to work with here. We're back out of Shadowfire. And in fact, I'm still going to make sure that I don't accidentally flip your back to a different side. This is more than good enough. That said, I really do like having the full defense here, but it does just make me really, really long for a faster kill. Desolation takes out one target for us. Stuns the other. And I'll finish you off personally as well. Perfect. I'd like a late shop next floor, but not really going to be able to utilize it if it's that late. Dark-Wraith Scythe. Roll an additional die each turn. Each turn, gain 2 critical. Honestly, it's more damage. It is more damage. It's just also not good. On turn 1, I need all of my die in order to be able to start going off. Either way, roll 2 ether die. The fact that they will commonly lower the cost of Stone Meld and cast it when I don't want it to be cast is pretty bad. Staff of Splintering. The first 3 you roll each turn are split into 3 1s. 1s are not especially useful for me specifically. I will take a reroll here. Dreadstone's fine. Roll an additional die each turn. On enemy death, lose a health. Fine. All enemies gain 1 power from Leyline Focus. That's fine too. And Hex Robes, I don't want to Hex my robes. I'm going to take Leyline Focus, because I take it less commonly than the other one. Probably just want the additional slot open, to be frank. Wow, the shop is actually fully out of line with other elites unless I go to the left here immediately, which I will because of that. Yay, I can get 2 elites as well as the shop. I'm gonna keep my shard until I get to the shop. Not like it's necessary. Oh my god, that's so much health I have to work my way through. It's fine. It's fine. Stalk all the enemies. Now it's time for the... Yeah, it's time for Bastion. But it's also time for Onslaught. And hopefully eventually Desolation as well. Beautiful. No damage taken. And I'm actually working my way through them pretty effectively here. Until end of turn, redirects the first spell targeted at it back to me. You're all being stalked. You're reshaping into a monstrosity unless interrupted by damage. Fine. I will hit you directly. Wait, what? It doesn't even return the... I'm so glad I'm still capable of taking you out despite that. Mean trick. Mean trick. I don't like that pylon of might. I might have to take it out. Stalk out on everyone. And also Desolate now. Stalk twice more quite easily. And never mind. By now I have enough Bastion that I can actually just punch through it. May I please have something that gives me damage? Either after this or in the shop that I'm going to next, please. Please. I'm languishing. It's so slow. I absolutely forgot how to what I was going to be doing. Thankfully, I do enough damage Then I still get out of the fight regardless. Return die with higher size. Spring to action. Gain power on turn 1. I mean, I'm not going to take it for that reason. Then Impure Ritual. I don't want to reroll because I know the next space is a shop and I want to have the money for the shop. Add a charge to a spell, gain a spell echoes. Add a charge to a spell, how useful is that for us? Very minimally? Exceptionally minimally. Spell echo is also really small. Okay, so we still don't have damage. Fine. None of these are helping me with my damage? Fine. But... manifold. It's just not relevant. An additional charge to a target spell is basically spell echo for us because I can afford to just cast the next spell again. So I'll take Astral Attunement. Alright. Here is the last time I'm going to get the opportunity. Glint Glaive. You have to invest a lot into it, but it does 22 damage, which is nice. Erratic Eye Amulet after you cast 10 spells, roll or die. Trap Spellwind, rolling an additional die on turn 1 is actually really helpful for us, and for each 3 threes rolled, roll 1/1. Totem gives blessing. Oh, fixation actually, hang on. Apply 12 damage. If marked as on the target, also apply 8 rupture. That's the ability to do damage. That'll have to be it. I'm not going to sell Stone Meld. I will still sell the Impure Ritual. I'm happy to sell Desolation as well, honestly. Fixation's going to be significantly better than it at this point. In selling both of those, I now have the ability to also buy the Trapped Spellwind to roll an extra die on turn 1, which is really, really useful for me. I do want to open an additional slot, and then I'll throw both of these. Beast Within is the one that I want to get cast with Tempest the most commonly. So I'll put that over on the left. Then afterwards it'd be Stalk. I got 2 more elites, so that's 2 more shards I'm going to be capable of getting before the end of this, which means Fixation is definitely going to get 4 more Rupture application. And honestly, Gleaming Mana getting +1 Blessing just to give me higher rolls for the following turn. Because Stone Meld's going to be cast every turn, it's not going to be a problem. Alright. I'm so glad I have the ability to increase my damage. Whoa. That's it. I still do want to find a comfy position before I start doing something like that. Put a 5 and a 1 into Stalk, and then everyone's marked. Time for the onslaughts now. Eventually I'll be defending well enough this won't even be necessary. I can start out with Fixation, but not yet. 1 down. Now I'm 4 weakened, which is fine. Bastion then casts Beast Within for us. Stone Meld to double the defense at the end of the turn. Hey, and then Fixation wants to cost. Which I guess I should let it. Exactly blocking this incoming turn. Now that I don't have to stalk this turn, we're still far better off. Throw fixation against the front line, take them out. Beast Within generates a couple of die for us. Still looking to scale Bastion defense, and then I'm going to bake fixation again. There's definitely a correct order here, but we are so far outside the scaling of the game that I don't think it matters. There we go, we'll give some rupture to that backline target. And even more rupture. And they're going to take a little bit of onslaught and to get you down as well. Give an additional charge to onslaught so I can keep going. That's us perfectly defended. I'm not even going to bother using Stone Meld if I don't need to. Let's pop fixation on you as well. The extra rupture. That will also then roll from Beast Within. And I'll follow up with another fixation for the kill. God, I'm so glad that I have some actual damage. Sacred Shimmer. Deal 7 damage, roll the die. No. A few scales and med magic we've seen before. I'm going to re-roll. The only thing I care about at this point, the only thing, is a spell that says that it does damage to the front enemy based on the amount of block that you have. Because that would still be better. There's a 6 in the old Glimmering Mana. Have to make sure that I stalk effectively this turn as well. There we go. If I put a 4 in Bastion, I'll gain some defense. I'll also trigger Beast Within. Rolling another die. Go, and that's a 5 and a 3. I can pop both of those into fixation so that my onslaughts do more damage this turn. The enemy does have a depleting aura as well, so that is going to be annoying. But ultimately, it's not going to change anything I do. I'll just steal some health back from you on a following turn if I need to. There's that Gleaming Mana. A 5, a 4, and a 1 in fixation. And then Onslaught. And then I'm going to give Onslaught 2 more charges. For another 17 damage. And then another 17 damage again. And then I'll give it even 1 more charge. Very end of all of that to take the enemy out. I brought charges with me, buddy. Good. Sacred Herb Tea. Rolled 2 5 to 6s. That sounds great for us. Preemptive Strike. If the target is attacking, apply marked. Woo. Vine Grip. Soul Power. No thank you. Reroll. Morphosis. Gain power. By exhausting other things. No. Don't care. Damned Shield. Each turn, gain a power, but receive a sap. No thank you. I'm taking the Shard. And we'll be giving more Rupture to that fixation. I'm gonna throw a 4 into Beast Within, still looking for a 6. Got it, and that'll go into the Gleaming Manor. Throw a 5 into Gleaming Manor. Pop that into Stalk. Ooh. Making another 6. Happy to see that. We'll stalk the enemies now. Another 2 into Bastion will now auto-cast Beast Within. Giving us another 6 as well. Love to see that. And then I got to make sure that I actually scale Bastion, otherwise I'm going to have a bad time. And I'll get Fixation ready to cast next turn as well, because I want to cast it on a turn that I can actually take advantage of that Rupture. Beast Within only generates 5s this entire turn. That's okay, I guess. Let's get Fixation on the frontliner so that I can start onslaughting. In fact, adding an additional charge to Onslaught will give me the ability to actually finish the kill before transitioning to Bastion for defense. Finish the defense with the Stone Meld, and then bake Fixation to the degree of having only 1 charge remaining. Great turn to reroll here. Sorry, reroll to Bloodbound Skin. 6 in Gleaming Mana. 5 in Bastion. Great. There's that reroll as well. I do want Fixation out on the field, but I don't want it on the Abyss Walker right now. I want it on the Abyss Walker after I'm ready to fight it. I forgot that the pillar was a summon as well, so the fight's already over. even more. Sacred Herbal Tea. Definitely better than the branding tonic we're already carrying around with us at all times. Kill Shot, Earthbane, and Earthquake. No thank you. Reroll, and nope, none of these do the thing. What exactly is even the name of the spell that does it? I know there is one. Oh, Monolith. So many of the spells sound like they would be the one that I'm talking about, just by name. Earth Spike. That seems like it would be it as well, but I think we're back in the signatures that start. Versus Natural Hardiness. No. Oaken Self. Boxflare. Convert block to power and drain Primal Craze. Obviously that would work. That would count as one of them. I'm deeply surprised. I can't see it. Gain block equal to the block damage dealt. No, one of these I could have sworn said do damage equal to your block to the front enemy. Specifically to the front enemy as well. Good lord. Anyhow, that apparently doesn't actually exist. Just in my mind. Gotta hit you with the onslaughts first. Gotta scale that bastion before I can do anything else. Okay. We get pretty close to casting Fixation, and also take no damage this turn. Everything's unstable. You can have as many friends as you'd like, because you can only have 3 maximum anyway. Doesn't matter. Gleaming Manor is probably one of the ones I least want to get the additional Glimmer on. Or the additional charge, rather. I'm going to gain an additional charge on Beast Within, and then put a 3 into Beast Within, rolling a 6, and then Tempest will roll another one for us. That gives me the ability then to put 2 5s into Fixation. Another 32 damage easily. Bastion. And Stalk. And Bastion again. I hope you enjoy having your 3 friends here to watch you die. Five and 4 on Fixation sets up for a much easier time onslaughting twice. There's Anat's Shard. Still not really going to increase any of our damage potential, but Gleaming Manor getting the blessing will make for an easier time at the start of each turn. I really could have sworn. Well, I'll take Oak himself. Not going to help me. Charge Necklace, of course. way far past that. Thank you. +1 blessing on Gleaming Mana. Which now, Gleaming Mana getting an additional charge is much better. Because getting 2 blessing on a following turn matters. Seven Gleaming Mana. And a 6 in Stalk. Already set up for fixation. In fact, 5, 3, and 2 1s gets another fixation off before I use my next onslaught, which is enough for lethal. 10-1 killing! With this deck? Infuse potency. Gain potency, unrestorable, is so unnecessary. So exceptionally unnecessary for us at this point. Disenchant a spell. Goodbye, mild magic. Is there any argument I could even possibly foresee for infuse potency? The annoying thing is yes. It removes Stone Meld, and that's good. Stone Meld is good for us currently on turn 1. Alright, so I'm going to swap that out. Infuse Potency at the absolute least will give us the ability to gain some die. Turn of a turn of a turn of a turn of a turn, which is going to make it much easier to use Fixation on the enemy before I do anything else. I should probably use one of my Sacred Herbal Tea on turn 1 here, helping me set up. And then save one for a particularly tough turn. No 6s! Pop a 5 and a 1 into Stalk. And then a 5 and a 5 into Infuse Potency. Yeah, I will have a 6 and a 6 by the end of this, that'll be fine. So I can try and onslaught the enemy a couple times here. Once casts Bastion, and then free casts Beast Within, which then casts Bastion again. We infuse Potency again, and have exactly 9 left to bake Fixation for the next turn. I'm gonna use the Iron Skin Potion here so that I don't have to take damage on this turn. Yeah, this is great. This is incredible. That'll do it. Fixation on the enemy. Now you've got some Rupture on you. God, we're rolling so many die. Pop a 4, a 4, and a 2 into Fixation. And then start onslaughting. With a 1. Actually, hang on. I'll onslaught one more time. And throw this one into Beast Within. To use both of the Beast Within charges suddenly. And then stalk the enemy. And then we'll Bastion. A couple more times. And as long as I add a charge to an aggressive spell here, so Onslaught, we'll be capable of getting you to your transformation barrier. Yay! And by doing that, we actually eliminated the break the enemy was trying to apply. If they applied 2 break, that would break 4 of my spells. So I'm very glad we managed to. Put a 5 and a 5 into fixation for the first Rupture application. And then a 4, a 4, and a 3 for the second. That gets Beast Within to trigger, and then it's Onslaught time. Onslaught number 1 does 35 damage. Number 2, I'm never gonna believe it, another 35 damage. Number 3 also comes in with another 35. There we go. Bastion a couple times by the end of that turn even. 23 block now for 4 countdown, twice a turn. And it only gets nuttier. Let's drop a 3 into Beast Within. 2 into Stalk. The 6 goes into Gleaming Mana. A 4 in Bastion will defend us as well as roll Beast Within. And then it's a 2 and a 6 into Fixation. Noting that I don't actually want Fixation to full cast again, as the enemy is going to get to their transition barrier here. And I can much more easily just wait it out. Okay, 3 fixations on the enemy, so they have 24 Rupture and then 3 charges of Onslaught. That's the goal this turn. Fixation number 1. Fixation number 2. Fixation number 3. And Onslaught does 47 damage. And yes, I can cast it 3 times this turn, so that will be lethal. Woo! And that's Hazel build B, finally. In fact, completing Hazel's second loadout here is going to give us an additional golden die on top of the additional golden die I'm going to get for Hazel becoming level 7, which means that Fire D is unlocked. Let's go have a look at what that is. Good run. Vigor of Blood. I can only imagine this is a self-damage build for Azar. Main spell, Vigor of Blood. Accepts any die, and 2 times a turn, it re-rolls the die and enchants it with Wound. When depleted, it rolls a 1 or a 2. There's also Leech. 7 countdown. 2 times a turn, it does 2 damage. However, on health loss, increase the damage by 2 for this whole combat. Wow. And then, Bloodwood. On a 3 to a 6, 2 times a turn, gain 4 block. If you use a wound die to do this, also heal 2 health. I'm so excited to get into that build, and I know it is next episode as well because we're looping back around to Azar. I'm so keen. For the moment, though, my name's Rhapsody. The name of the game has been SpellRogue. Top left is a series playlist for all my content on the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic at patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And above the thank tier, and a special thanks this episode to Tristan. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.